All right, let's dive right in. Headless commerce. It's a buzzy term, and I know a lot of you out there are curious about what it really means, so we're going to break it down today.
It's an exciting area of e-commerce, and I think we can clear up some of the mystery surrounding it.
And we've got a great resource to help us. An article from webnexs, Best 15 Benefits of Headless Commerce in 2025. 15 benefits. I mean, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
So before we get lost in all the details, maybe we can just start with a simple explanation. What is headless commerce in a nutshell?
Sure. So imagine you're building an online store, but you don't want to be limited by the pre-built templates or the built-in features of a traditional platform.
You want something more custom, something that truly reflects your brand.
Exactly. With headless commerce, you separate the front end, what your customers see, from the back-end systems that manage things like inventory and orders.
Okay, so instead of everything being bundled together in one big package, it's more like a modular system?
That's a great way to put it. You can pick and choose the best tools for each specific function and connect them together using APIs.
APIs, there's that acronym again. It seems like APIs are the glue that holds everything together in the digital world these days.
It really are. APIs allow different software systems to talk to each other, to exchange information seamlessly.
So your storefront could request product data from your inventory system or customer information from your CRM all through these APIs.
Exactly. It's all about creating a network of specialized systems that work together harmoniously.
That sounds pretty complex. Is this something that only big companies with tons of technical resources can implement?
Not necessarily. While it's true that headless commerce requires a certain level of technical expertise, there are solutions available for businesses of all sizes.
Okay, good to know. So we've established that headless commerce is about separating the front end from the back end and connecting them with APIs. But why is this such a big deal? What are the benefits that have everyone so excited?
Well, the webnexs article highlights 15 key benefits, but maybe we can focus on a few that really stand out, especially for someone who's still wrapping their head around all of this.
That sounds like a good plan. Let's start with flexibility. I hear that word a lot in relation to headless commerce. What does it actually mean in this context?
It means you're not locked into any particular platform or set of tools. You can choose the best-of-breed solutions for each aspect of your business and connect them seamlessly using APIs.
So if you find a new inventory management system that you love or a cutting-edge personalization engine, you can easily integrate it without having to overhaul your entire website.
Exactly. And that's huge because technology is constantly evolving. With headless commerce, you can future-proof your business in a way.
That's a compelling argument for sure. What about scalability? I know a lot of growing businesses struggle with this. Their websites can't keep up with the increasing traffic and demands.
That's a common problem, and headless commerce is a great solution for it. Because you're not tied to a monolithic platform, you can easily scale your infrastructure as your business grows.
So you can handle those big traffic spikes during Black Friday or flash sales without your website crashing or slowing down.
Exactly. And speaking of speed, that's another major benefit of headless commerce.
Speed is everything in e-commerce. I've heard those stats about how even a 1-second delay in page load can cost businesses a fortune in lost sales.
It's true. And with headless commerce, you can optimize for speed at every level.
Because you're essentially streamlining the entire architecture.
Precisely. You're only loading the essential elements on each page, which leads to faster page load times and a smoother customer experience.
And happier customers usually translate into more sales. So we've got flexibility, scalability, speed. It's starting to sound like headless commerce is a bit of a silver bullet for e-commerce businesses.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It's important to have realistic expectations.
Right, of course. No technology is a magic solution.
Exactly. But it's definitely a powerful approach with a lot to offer the right businesses.
So how do you know if headless commerce is right for you? What kind of businesses should be seriously considering this?
I'd say any business that's serious about growth, about creating unique customer experiences, and about staying ahead of the curve in the e-commerce world.
That sounds like a lot of businesses.
It probably is. But as we dive deeper into the webnexs article, I think we'll get a clearer picture of who can truly benefit from this approach.
So we've talked about the benefits in theory, like flexibility, scalability, and speed. But what does all this actually look like in practice?
Yeah, how are businesses actually using this?
Exactly. Like, give me some real-world examples.
Well, the comments on this webnexs article actually offer some great insights into that. A lot of people are sharing their experiences, and it's fascinating to see the different ways businesses are approaching this.
Oh, cool. So real people real companies, not just theoretical stuff.
Yeah. For example, Gopin mentioned that there's this big shift happening where companies are moving away from those basic, out-of-the-box storefront solutions.
Because they all look the same and don't really stand out.
Exactly. They're realizing that to really make an impact, they need something unique, something that reflects their brand. And that's where Headless comes in.
Makes sense. Everyone's trying to create that wow factor online.
Right. And Plaid, another commenter, talked about how developers are using Headless to break free from those limitations, to create truly bespoke experiences.
So it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in e-commerce.
Yeah, no more being restricted by predefined templates or platforms.
I like that. Unleashing creativity and aligning technology with your brand vision.
Exactly. And Jackie brought up another interesting point about how you can have one central hub managing all your products, inventory, and customer data.
And then use APIs to connect that hub to your website, your mobile app, your social media channels, all those different touch points.
Precisely. So you can have a customer adding an item to their cart on your website, and then boom, they get a personalized notification on their phone with a special offer to complete the purchase.
Okay, that's pretty slick. It's like a seamless, integrated experience across all channels.
That's the power of omnichannel enabled by headless commerce.
Omnichannel, another one of those buzzwords I keep hearing.
Well, it's more than just a buzzword. It's becoming the expectation. Customers want to be able to interact with your brand on their terms, on whatever device or platform they're using.
And Frankel even mentioned a study by Harvard Business Review that found that 73% of consumers use multiple channels to find and buy products.
Yeah, so omnichannel isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's essential for reaching your target audience.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture, and I'm also starting to think this headless thing might actually be worth all the hype.
Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are some important considerations to keep in mind before jumping into headless commerce.
Oh, right. There's always a catch, isn't there?
Not necessarily a catch, but definitely things to think about. For example, Kian, one of the commenters, raised a good point about whether the move to headless is really worth it if a company isn't fully committed to an omni-channel strategy.
Yeah, if you're only selling through one channel, maybe it's not the best use of resources.
It might not be. It's like buying a Ferrari when you only drive to the grocery store once a week.
I like that analogy.
You're not going to get the full benefit of it.
So align your technology choices with your business strategy. Makes sense. What else should we be thinking about?
Technical expertise is another big one. While headless commerce offers a lot of flexibility, you do need developers who understand APIs and can manage all the integrations between different systems.
I imagine that can get pretty complex.
It can, and that's why it's often more expensive to implement headless commerce compared to those traditional all-in-one platforms.
So there's a trade-off between flexibility and cost.
There can be, but it's important to remember that those traditional platforms can become very expensive in the long run, especially if you're constantly trying to customize them or add features that they weren't designed for.
With headless, you're investing more upfront, but you're getting that flexibility and control to adapt as your business evolves.
Exactly. So it's not a one-size-fits-all decision.
I guess every business needs to weigh the pros and cons carefully and decide what makes sense for them.
Absolutely. But the fact that over $1.65 billion has been invested in headless technologies in the past 2 years speaks volumes about the growing interest and confidence in this approach.
Wow, that's a lot of money. People are putting their money where their mouth is.
They're seeing the potential, and they're not afraid to invest in it. And those who are embracing headless are already seeing the benefits.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Kieran mentioned how personalization is becoming a key differentiator in e-commerce. Headless allows you to create experiences that feel tailor-made for each customer, fostering brand loyalty and encouraging repeat business.
It's about building those lasting relationships, not just one-off transactions.
Exactly. And Elise talked about how headless enables experimentation and testing, allowing you to constantly optimize the customer experience.
It's about being agile, innovative, and responsive to your customers' needs.
It's fascinating to see how this headless trend is expanding beyond e-commerce, as Daniel pointed out. We're seeing it in content management systems, digital signage, and other areas.
So it's becoming more than just a buzzword. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about digital experiences.
And as Marcus emphasized, it's becoming crucial for businesses that want to create a true omnichannel experience.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Omnichannel seems to be the holy grail of e-commerce these days.
It's definitely a key driver for a lot of businesses. But, as Oliver had pointed out, Businesses need to be mindful of the potential limitations within specific headless platforms. Make sure the one you choose has the flexibility to develop the unique features that will set you apart.
So, it's about finding the right platform that aligns with your vision and empowers you to achieve your goals. It's not just about going headless for the sake of it.
Ely made a good point about reusable components. With Headless, you can create a library of elements that can be used across your website and other sales channels.
Building a modular system that can adapt and grow with your needs.
Exactly. And as Board reminded us, with the significant investments pouring into these technologies, it's clear that headless commerce is here to stay.
It's not just a fad.
Not at all. It's a powerful approach that's changing the face of e-commerce.
So we've heard from all these experts, we've seen the real-world examples, and we've explored the potential benefits. But the big question remains. How do you know if and when it's the right time to make the move to headless commerce?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's one we'll try to answer in the next part of our deep dive.
All right, so give it to me straight. Headless commerce, is it the ultimate e-commerce solution?
Well, I wouldn't say ultimate. I mean, no technology is a perfect solution for every situation, right?
Okay. Right, of course. There are always trade-offs and considerations.
But headless commerce, it definitely has a lot of advantages, especially in today's market where everything's moving so fast.
Yeah, we've seen how it can give you that flexibility and scalability, which seem essential for businesses that want to grow and adapt quickly.
And that ability to create those unique customer experiences, those personalized journeys that really set you apart.
It's not just about selling products, it's about building relationships.
Exactly. And headless can be a powerful tool for that. But it's important to remember it's still just a tool.
Right. It's not going to magically solve all your problems overnight.
You need a solid strategy, a clear understanding of your business goals, and the right technical expertise to really make it work.
So it's not a decision to be taken lightly.
Definitely not. You need to do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and make sure it aligns with your overall vision for your business.
And if you do decide to go headless, be prepared to embrace a new way of thinking.
It's a shift in mindset. It's about moving away from those rigid all-in-one platforms and embracing a more flexible, modular approach.
And it sounds like it can be a pretty exciting journey.
It definitely can be. There's so much potential with headless commerce, and it's only going to continue to evolve and grow.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? What should they do if they're intrigued by all this headless talk?
I'd say, first and foremost, educate yourself. Learn as much as you can about headless commerce, understand the benefits and the challenges, and see if it's something that could potentially benefit your business.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, explore different platforms, and talk to other businesses that have already made the move to headless.
There are a lot of resources out there, including the webnexs article we discussed, that can help you get started.
And remember, it's not just about the technology, it's about the possibilities it unlocks. It's about creating those seamless, personalized, and engaging experiences that customers are coming to expect.
It's about building a brand that stands out, that resonates with your audience, and that thrives in today's competitive e-commerce landscape.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve. The future of e-commerce is here, and it's headless. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time.